Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are back for another Vintage League, and we're playing some RUG circa 2021 today. This is a deck that I haven't played a lot in my life, but I really do like Ren 6. I think Ren 6 is just an awesome card, and I think it's extremely underplayed, basically because RUG is not a played deck right now. You do see it probably the most in something like Oath of Druids versus the traditional rug builds. But since we've had the unrestriction of Ponder, I thought I would play this deck today and just see where and how it fits into the metagame currently. I'm not convinced it's anywhere near as good as the Lurus decks, but we're going to try it out today. We've got some powerful cards that don't get a lot of play anymore, Doc Faden being definitely one of them. It's an awesome card still. And truthfully, I'm not sure why it is as obsolete as it is, but I'm going to try it out today. And of course, the powerful Oko. This deck used to have the Mystic Sanctuary Gush engine. That's not really what I'm looking to do. I don't think that that is as good as it once was, certainly with the confluence of Wastelands in the metagame today. And yeah, I mean, got your traditional counter package or delve spells. I am splitting Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce. I traditionally like Spell Pierce more, but I am going to give Flusterstorm a kick at the can today. Main deck Pyroblast. How about that, eh? Foregone error for sure, but I still think it's pretty damn good. So we're going to see how we do today, guys. And yeah, as always, I do appreciate you hanging out and like, comment, subscribe. I try to get back to everybody. We'll see you round one. Round one. We did not win the die roll. Don't have any interaction here, but I do have two lands and an ancestral. I think this is okay to keep. If Golos is any bit of a portent as to what my opponent is playing, we could be in trouble. We don't line up very well against shops, but I think that this hand is fine. Chancellor, okay. So we've got the probe we can burn here. We do have lightning bolt for early interaction, so that could be a nice setup for us. It's of course contingent on how broken my opponent's hand is, and if they do lead into something like a turn one Archon, we're in a pretty big world of hurt, I would say. Okay, so it is White Plume. So against initiative, you're really just trying to weather that early storm. They do have a wasteland, unfortunately for us, which is pretty hard on us. Because we are going to need to lightning bolt that. And we're going to pay the life here. We're not going to pay for the probe. That is gone. We will hold up lightning bolt here and hope that they forge. Perhaps it was better to play the Scalding Tarn here, because if they don't forge, I would take the 3 damage here and protect my land. That probably is a better line, but as it turns out, it's too much for them to resist naturally. And it didn't end up mattering, but just something to think about. Yeah, that's another reason as well, I suppose. So we're going to get beaten pretty bad on our Scalding Tarn. Yeah, I didn't really think about an Anointed Peacekeeper. Okay. Ancestral Recall. Oh, interesting. I think that was a mistake on their part. I don't really like that too much. So do we expose our land here to a fetch or to a waste, or do I get a basic? I think I get a basic here. Oops. So Dak Faden, I'm quite a ways away from them. I could see a Lauren revealed being relevant here. It does set me up for an awkward line though next turn. I think this is worth keeping because it's a guaranteed land. Yep. All right. Phew. Pyroblast is looking pretty bad. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have a lot of time here. They're going into the archives. I think I've probably run out here. This is to build up my delve here and to protect my red source that's coming the following turn. I don't think we're going to be able to get out of this in time. They're going to be in the throne before I can do anything. And we are pretty vulnerable to white initiative in this deck because we don't really have any offense. Our deck is just a full-on control deck. Yep. Okay. Boy, are we're in tough here. I don't think we can win this match. We're just not equipped to fight this, and I didn't really put any focus on this type of a matchup. So Narset is probably quite poor. Pyroblasts are pretty poor. Don't think I want Tabernacle. Yeah, like those are all really poor sideboard choices, right? Like normally against initiative, you have some good cards to side in. We just don't have that. Flusterstorm, once again, very, very bad. Narset. Okay. Well, this is the world we're living in. We did not prepare ourselves for this match. We're going to need to try and take a control approach here and have some broken starts. Yeah, this is pretty good. Let me rephrase it. This is viable, not pretty good. We really have to hope that they don't have a Chancellor here. Okay. I will Ancestral in their upkeep. I don't think that this is worth it to do it here. I don't want to discard. And this is going to give us an ability to counter a Mox. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have red mana for a Dreadhorde Arcanist. That would be very powerful here. Um, Let that one go. This one I will counter. Yep. Yeah, and this was literally the worst case scenario. They just had a really strong opener, and I got baited. They were going to have it one way or another, no matter which one I countered. Okay, there is a red source here, and that is good. Take a look and see what we can find here. I do think Force of Will is probably what I want here. Narset is obviously quite bad. I do realize we have no blue card in our hand, but hopefully we can fix that next turn. It's too bad we don't have a blue card because that would set us up to potentially get them with the Dreadhorde. I have no way of removing the Seasoned Dungeoneer, which is, of course, just a flaw in my deck building. I did not take white initiative into consideration when I updated this list, if at all. I didn't really update much, but 5 cards in hand, one is a land. So the likelihood they have nothing but lands is fairly low. The Solitude, yeah. Okay. That was just like futile. Let's see how we do against the rest of the meta. Okay, another die roll lost. At least this time we have a counter spell up, so that's something. Yeah, I like this hand. Obviously contingent on what we're playing against, but turn 1 Ancestral would be unfortunate, but probably would pitch Dak Faden here because we're quite a ways away from casting Dak. Ponder. That's fine. They did not shuffle. Let's take a peek and see what we're dealing with here. Wasteland, how interesting. And Pierce. Okay. I've got the basics down here. We get a land. Not find one. That's a pretty big deal. Yeah, probably discard. I guess Treasure Cruise is something we can do here. Ancestral. Can't stop it. Oh, it was Delta, excuse me. That was swamp in hand. All right. I'm going to discard. We do need to find a land here. I think I'm just going to build up my graveyard here, guys. I realize this is about to get spell pierced, but I feel like we need to start whittling this stuff away. Well, they just let it go. Interesting. Well, if we find a land, we can play a Tarmogoyf. Say this has not been a great start for us in this league. So it looks like they're probably going to go for a consult kill here. And we're pretty helpless to stop it. I guess if we find a force here is probably our best bet. Oh, it's their turn, of course. Yep, we can't stop it. No point in showing them the Pyroblast here. They have Spell Pierce up. Try this one out. I feel like we're reasonably well put together to combat this style of deck here. We've got a pretty solid counter suite. We just didn't find any lands that game. We just were unable to play the game. We got beat by a single Spell Pierce. Okay, let's see if we can play some Magic this game. Yep. I mean, this is the type of match we're far better equipped to play against versus something like a white initiative. We just are wanting to try and play control as much as we can. It seems like a match where Flusterstorm is going to be more impactful than Spell Pierce, so perhaps a good decision there doing the split. Narset's a great draw. I'm going to fetch here. I know they did show me Wastelands. I think that's okay. I'm just going to get a basic here. And that gives us the ability to respond if we need to. Vampiric. I will let a Vampiric resolve. Yep, Vampiric resolves. So I guess it depends on what they do here. I mean, I have to fight over an Ancestral, right? It would be disadvantageous to let that resolve when I have a... Ooh, Cavern! I didn't see that. Okay, they are going for a consult kill. So this is time walk. I think I'm going to put a stop to that. And I want to untap. Try and get Narset into play here. So I am taking myself off a blue card here potentially, which is kind of scary. But I think it's worth it. Narset will replenish the blue count if it resolves. And it is in. Okay, that's pretty good for me. We did indeed find a blue card. How much do I want something like Dak Faden? Probably don't need it right now. Take a ponder. Demonic Tutor. Let that resolve. It's a little bit risky, but I think this deck wins through the consult kill. Like, this is probably a 4 of Oracle deck. I don't see a reason. I mean, I guess I can hard cast a negation and have double force up. That is pretty strong here. We don't need to do anything. They obviously have cast a vampiric tutor and a demonic tutor. They're setting their combo up. Let's sit here and be patient for a turn. Narset has taken away card draw. My opponent can see that I have a whole bunch of mana up. Here's the Oracle. I cannot counter it. And so they're going to try and win on the stack here. Can hard cast it. I mean, Daze is a little bit of a blowout if they have it doing this way, but I think that's okay. They'd have to have exactly Daze. Okay, so we were able to get through that. Now we'll play a Tarmogoyf. I can go run into time. Yeah, I like that. Into a Tarmogoyf. Get a Trop. And we'll cast a Goyf. Okay. Planeswalker's protected. Thought Lash. So they're gonna. I have to actually counter that because they have an uncounterable Oracle. It's not ideal, but I think it's all right. I'm not sure which has more value here. I guess probably Ponder does because I can fetch away cards I don't want. I really do need to find a wasteland here so I can get rid of that friggin' cavern. That was not a good draw. See what we can find. Collector Roof doesn't seem good. None of this actually really seems to help. I mean, I could counter another Thought Lash, which may be okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just desperate enough to do it. I'll play this out, I guess. Actually, I can discard it to a Dak Faden if I find one. Maybe that's just worth keeping. I don't think I want to let Narset go here, to be perfectly honest. I do want to start clocking my opponent here, but maybe that's just actually incorrect. Leyline. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's really sweet. Can't stop that. Flying too. Wow. Let's take a picture of the yard here. It's a pretty good set of cards, isn't it? That shrinks my Goyf. Hmm. Well, I think they might get us here. We really need some help. That's too late, isn't it? He's going to take my Ren here, or they're going to take my Ren. Yeah, me missing that turn of combat last turn could be very, very costly. Hmm. Gonna need some help here. What'll be interesting, yeah, they are coming after my walkers. Okay, well, I'm about to go ultimate with Ren here in another turn, so this makes sense. But they could just have me on a 3-turn clock. This is beneficial for me if they do this. I'm happy about it. Because I'm not winning this race currently. I mean, this will put me back up to a 3-turn clock, but they do win this race if they attack me. And they're just assessing this right now because I do not have answers to Inverter of Truth. I need to find something like a time walk to be able to win this. Okay, that is good for me. Ooh, Dark Fade. Let's do this. I do think I should have attacked into that Oracle and not worry about my Narset. I think the line I chose is not incorrect. There is an argument for it, but given that I really should have been focused on a beatdown plan, I don't think it was the correct thing to do. And let's see if we can resolve on Dark Faden. I could mill them with Narset. That is something. And make them discard their 2 cards. Draw 2 cards so they won't. Yeah, that's just got to be better. Oh, they drew 1. Yeah, naturally. Okay, that makes sense. Didn't get the Oracle, but I got a Vamp out of their hand. They will kill Dak here likely, but they are losing this race if they do that. I mean, they're losing it anyways, but... Oh, they went after Narset. My Spell Pierce could be good here. So glad I held this Mox now. Pierce should be good. Yeah, so should this. Okay. So we're definitely discarding the Mox, and yeah, we're going to get rid of the Probe here. They had no land left. I think they had that. I think they had that game. Does Leyline do anything against this type of deck? Not really. It makes it better for them, I think. Does Lightning Bolt do anything? Probably not. Okay, another solid looking hand here. We've got double force as interaction here. We've got wasteland for the cavern. I have to say, I do love my opponent's deck. It's pretty sweet. Ponder's in. I don't think we need to waste this here, but let's see what they do. If they shuffle, I guess we can look with the probe. That way we can hold up force and spell pierce. Did not shuffle. I am going to just do this here. I really want to know whether the wasteland is the correct line or not. I think it's worth it to do it. No, they got tons of land. We can just move towards red and 6 here. They do have the one basic there, but that basic does not help cast Oracle. I am going to spell pierce this here. I think it's pretty good value. They're trying to set up right now. It's early in the game, and inhibiting them from being able to sculpt is significant. We have full information on their hand. Sol Ring I'm not as worried about. I can't really run Ren into... Maybe I can just run it in and hope to find another force. I think it's probably worth it because I'm trying to mess with their lands. I think it's worth the gamble here. They're going to pierce it. That's just obvious. We're going to force a will back. And we just have to hope that they don't have the combo set up before we can start wasting them out. And the faster we can get up to ultimate on this thing, the better. So, look, this is a gamble, and it could cost me the game, there is no doubt, but it also could win me the game. They have 2 Underground Seas in play, and I'm going to start attacking their mana base here. They have 2 cards in hand, and any blue card off the top is assuredly a winning recipe. They cannot cast Oracle as of now. And we are very land heavy, but in the least we have the retrace feature if we ever get there. Blue card, please. That is a blue card. We are quite pleased to have that. I could steal their Soul Ring next turn. Probably will do that. We are on a mana denial plan as much as we're able to here. Okay, that was a good one. I honestly think Narset's just better here. Find another blue card would be good. I think Brainstorm looks really nice here because we've got all of these lands. So we do have an ultimate Wren here. I think we can probably keep the Wren around, given the way we're set up here. But having a Spell Pierce active here is not anything to balk at either. This is just a really good situation to be in. I have a lot of lands, I'll tell you that. I'm going to cast a Dak Faden here. Once again, we do have the option of milling them here. But I don't know how much I want to do that. Okay, first let's brainstorm here. I think it's worth doing this way. Probably should have done this a little bit better because now I would like to have fetched. So that was not optimal the way I aligned that, but I think that's all right. We've just got forces for days here. I think it's going to be really hard to lose this. I'll take the Soul Ring. They just let me have it. Okay, did not tap. Okay. We've got two pitch forces here. Like, pretty hard to lose from this spot. Yeah. We will take that one, guys. I think that's more how our deck is supposed to play out. Very strong control. Okay, round 3. Want a die roll. Yep. Really nice looking hand. Okay, we're playing against Bug. So they do have a turn 1 Bowmaster. They got Black Lotus to go with Collector. So first things first. I do unfortunately just have to Ancestral in their upkeep. I have no choice. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do it right now. So I know it's going to resolve. Okay, great. We got a Wrenn and 6 coming up here. No Wasteland, sadly, but they can get the Collector Roof going. I think that's okay because it shuts their mana off. And I do have Spell Pierce here as well up. So I can't really force anything unless, no, they're just going to go for both right now. And they can Bowmaster with Pierce up. Yep. Oh, they did not do it correctly. Do I want the Spell Pierce? I don't know, Dig Through Time does seem pretty powerful. I do like having counter magic. Yeah, I think I can let the Spell Pierce or the Dig Through Time go. Feel free to leave comments in the discussion section as to whether you would have done that or not. Um, this is just a cheap cantrip, and I do like having some level of control of the Spell Pierce, and I do acknowledge that if this is indeed bug, which I believe it is, Spell Pierce is a minimally low impact card versus something like Dig Through Time, but being able to win a counter war over something is significant for this cheap. So going back to my opponent's play there, they should have floated mana off their Mox Jet, and they could have cast the Orcish Bowmasters off that with Spell Pierce backup, which is really huge. That was a mistake on their end without a doubt. Now, we do need to be able to find a way to protect our Wrenn and 6 here fairly quickly. They're going to cut into it over a couple turns, but hopefully we can find a lightning bolt or something like that. But this is going to help expedite our mana situation here. Okay. It's kind of like in the least, us casting two different land grants. Okay, Ponder is pretty good. I wish I had my counterspell up for that, but that's all right. Chooses to not shuffle. Okay. They do have Spell Pierce up here. Hopefully not an Ancestral. That would be a bummer. Deathrite? Deathrite would suck here too. Geez, worse. Ancestral. That's crazy. That's a big swing in their favor. There's no doubt about that. There's a Goyf. Okay, Goyf does work. I do want to shuffle those away, so we'll go and get a green source here. Might resolve, might not. If it does, it's very powerful. And Force of Will, Spell Pierce gone. Okay, wish I could have backed it up, but that basically ate the Ancestral, so feeling a bit better about that. Now, Leovold here is definitely a bummer, or Oko, but geez, no Pierce there. So we're losing this one here. I do have Pyroblasts to be able to deal with that. My opponent is low on resources here. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. I'm going to Treasure Cruise, I think. I'm going to go get another red source here. I know they're playing Goyfs too. We're probably playing a similar amount. Okay, I did find the Pyroblast, which is great. Now we are taking a bit of a beating here, but Hopefully they pitch a negation here. That would be sweet, and we can counter it with a Spell Pierce. So this is going to put us down to 6, but next turn we should be able to get an Oko into play. I am going to sit on my Spell Pierce here versus dig with the Ponder. Okay, it did not work out for me. But we still have another Oko covered. The worst thing they could do would be something like a Tarmogoyf. Any creature really is bad for me. Time Walk, I do like that. But I think that's something I'm going to save. Well, 2 cards in hand. Let's see. Okay. Once again, I'm going to sit on a Pierce, like an Assassin's Trophy or something here is pretty bad for me. I'm going to negate that. In case I've got something like Abrupt Decay, which is pretty catastrophic to my situation here. I don't even think I really want to brainstorm here, to be perfectly honest. So against Bug, don't really have much for Bug. For your information, I have since made changes from our round 1 matchup against White Initiative that I have put in 2 Dismembers into my deck, and I cut 1 Ravenous Trap, and I cut the Nature's Claim in order to have some game against creature matchups. I think that this is a little bit of a matchup where I would be pleased to have something like Dismember. We're going to go in as we are. One of the problem cards for us, from our opponent's perspective, is Deathrite Shaman. We have land. It's a little bit loosey-goosey, but okay, I'm okay with that. Hopefully we find another blue card off the top. That would be handy. Black Lotus. Box would be solid. Like a blue or a red Mox. Strip line. In truth, I don't really want to expose this Ancestral. I'm kind of in on it right now, and I do value being able to pitch it if I have to. Like if a Bowmaster or something comes down, it's really bad for me. Did they have a Bowmaster here? They did not flash one. Leovold is a tough sell too if they have it, but it is what it is. Let's see if this is a Leovold. Oh, it's probably an Oko is what it is. Trigon Predator. I like your style. Circa 2014. Artifact or enchantment. Well, that is not something that impacts me in a significant manner. Well, I can force through the Ancestral. The issue I have is I'm going to end up having to discard. So I think I'm just going to play nice here, and I'm going to pass turn. I'm going to let my opponent draw. Where I get really roasted is if they have a Bowmaster. But if I can get the Ancestral going with the one, if I can resolve it, number two, if I can get it going with the Dreadhorde, that's a really big game for me. They're just not doing anything. All right. I'm in no hurry. I actually probably should have wastelanded them there. Yeah, this might not work out. We'll see. Their black mana is shut down here. I guess I'm going to go. AK, they don't have Bowmaster here. They may fight over this, something like a Spell Pierce or a, yeah. So we'll have to see if they have something here. They do have Force Will, okay. So we got burned pretty hard here, but they're very low on resources, and we most definitely have a better draw engine in our deck than they do. I didn't play that optimally. They get our Mox here. Ha, sure. Well, that's crazy. I guess it's just pressure, but just thrilled with the way this setup has gone. I do win this race. Now they may be incentivized to attack in, but that's 4. That's going to put me at 10. Yeah, I still think I win this race. I don't really want to block the Collector Roof here. Tarmogoyf was a very good draw. Yeah, so it does put me in a position where I have to attack in here. I can't sit back. Would like a blue card here. Okay, red is pretty good. I do have strip mine. I guess my question is, do I want to play over spell pierce? I think they're gonna block here. But that's okay. The reason I'm doing it this way is I don't want them to know what my plan is, and by them not blocking with the collector roof and seeing the Ren, they just attack back and kill it. So this way, I do open up their mana, and I acknowledge that this could be a problem if they have something like a hard cast negation or uh, a decay. But I'm not playing around spell pierce here because I really want to be able to get strip mine and be able to do it twice. It's a bit of a greedy line doing this, and if they do have spell pierce, it for sure is punishing. But getting strip mine here is really powerful. So they do have the trophy here by the looks of things, or decay, one or the other, or bowmaster, I guess it could be. Yeah, bowmaster is pretty tragic for me, but it is what it is. We're going to lose our Ren, but I'm going to take their land here. Okay. That did not work out advantageously for me, but I didn't have a choice. I had to. I have to attack with my Tarmogoyf here. Mm, I am not winning this race, but I'm going to have to draw something to help. But I'm not winning sitting back either. If I have to pull the brakes, I will. But I'm giving myself an opportunity to draw something. That was a really good draw. Why would they have held that back if they weren't going to block? Got Spell Pierce covered here, Flusterstorm covered. This makes the clock very much in our favor. Okay, really nice win there. Okay, here we are. And I think Jose is a white initiative player, so we could just get absolutely bold here. I've got a force a negation. Yeah, I guess I'm going to keep this. Like, if it's Jewel, we have an answer. If it's initiative, I mean, we're just so far behind in initiative matchups. It's like being able to stymie them on mana is probably our best bet. Um, I realize we don't have any mana here, but yeah, it is Chancellor. Okay, well, that's going to get us. No, not necessarily. I guess we're on the play. It's our only saving grace. I have to hope it's enough. Okay, that was good. Do I go looking for a force of will here? I don't think so. I'm gonna get my Dreadhorde Arcanist down here. It's like literally my best draw. Okay, Dahlia. That sucks for me, but I mean, I can cantrip at least once here. Force of Will was nice. Do I want to come off Force of Will here for turn 2? Yeah, probably. We got to start trying to get ahead here. Keep one of those. We just have to hope they don't have Ancient too. The Bolt is really nice here, but we're going to sit on Force of Will this turn, and hopefully the Bolt will be able to get us there. Maybe I burn. No, I don't burn the box. I guess I should for Delve, but I'd like the ability to just bolt this thing if need be. Okay, they did find the tomb. So what I can do here, guys, is like the issue is it gives them mana. I don't think I let them have that because I want to wasteland them here and just try and stymie them out here. They get in for 2, yeah. Terminwave was a real nice draw. Do I even want to bolt this thing? Tarmogoyf just... It's really good. I think I just want to get a Goyf in here, guys. Nice. We just have so many bad spells in our deck here, but Pyroblast is really horrendous. Guess Nature's Claim. Bring a Nature's Claim in, and is that better than Shattering Spree? Maybe not. They're, to be clear, they're both very bad. But if they go Mox, Mox, into something. It is a potential line for us further down the road. Okay, this is not adequate. Okay, this is fine. It's not great. Spell Pierce is probably our worst card here. They have Chancellor. We've got a couple cards that we can burn to it, and they do. Just hope they have a. I was just about to say a setup turn, but we just lose to this. I literally don't think we can ever beat that card. But it just goes to show you, like, if we had a counter for that Mox or that Lotus, like, we're playing Magic. Now, I do like the Nature's Claim more on the play because I can kill their Mox with the trigger on the stack. Their Chrome Mox. We're in pretty bad shape. Like, this is a horrendous match. We need to have a really strong start to be able to beat our opponent. This is unfortunate because we don't have the turn one Ren here, but that's okay. Ren can set up Thalia or kill a Thalia. We do have Force of Will here. Chancellor, yep. So the thing is, do I want to? I don't really think I can afford to burn my Mox. That's the thing. I'm not thrilled about this because we can just get wastelanded, but I think that's just the risk we have to take with a Chancellor and try and force a will their big play. And the question is, oh, they did a wasteland, yeah. No, we're just gonna have to hope, guys. We can find a blue source here. We didn't. Okay. Okay. Blue source really helps here. Yeah. Two turns missing is just huge. I'm gonna have to let the Mox resolve. I just don't have a choice. If they've got a Cavern, yeah, it's just probably GG's, but we're just 100 miles away from Treasure Cruise. Please. I liked our hand. We got wastelanded and we just lost. That's 4 turns in a row, no land. We have a lot of lands in our deck. Yeah, so pretty disappointing, guys. I mean, the truth of the matter is that I think we actually could have won that game had we just found one more land. Like, look at that. Just not even anywhere to be found. We just had all the tools that we needed. My opponent had a average start at best. Like, turn one Wasteland is, I think, a little bit of a crazy line. My opponent took a gamble and it actually paid off. And then they played a land, a basic and passed. Like, we just had all sorts of time to get ahead there. We had all the tools, just never found. Okay, let's see if we can do a little bit better here. Yep, I'm going to keep it. take a peek. They have the mist up as well. Okay. It's unfortunate because I'm going to have trouble battling the Ancestral here, but hopefully we can find a reasonable counter here. In all honesty, I don't really want any of these. Ponder is fine, but I'm kind of looking for a counter spell here. We're going to be quite behind. Unfortunately, but see what my opponent does. I feel like the most obvious line is just to pass and our upkeep Ancestral because they know they can resolve it. And I'm just not going to. I mean, maybe I do pick the fight. Then let me draw. Okay. Guess I preordain here. They probably will throw it on the stack now. Okay. It's awkward because I'm trying to pretend I have Flusterstorm or Pyroblast up here, but the second that I tap down for the Lauren revealed, it gives that plan up. But maybe I would like to cast my Tarmogoyf next turn. Maybe I just don't. I think I'm going to. They want an Ancestral here. I guess there's not much I can do about it. Too unknown. Taking an Ancestral here. They do have the negation, so this is the issue with this line. Give them a chance to pitch it. This is not likely to work. But if they pitch that mental misstep here, I don't think they will. Probably be dressed down. But if they're looking for the recurring, yeah, they got rid of dress down. I know they have an answer to this, but I'm going to get the misstep out of their hand. Okay, they got me all the way through there. Not ideal. Okay, do Lurus. They're going to PO for 2. Okay. That's pretty weak. I guess I'm pleased with that. It basically drew 1 card. It's just really, really awkward. Not being able to cast this Tarmogoyf because of the way my mana is situated. But we could do that next turn potentially. Okay, just another Saga. Maybe we don't need to worry about it for a turn. The Mox is actually decent. They play a land next turn and they're just sitting on the Saga. Just trying to figure out, do I deploy this Tarmogoyf right now? They get 1 use of this, and I have the DAC to follow up potentially. Okay. Let's see. They could force a will this here for sure. They chose not to. See how this comes to fruition. There's a number of ways this could go wrong for me. The main being something like a time walk. Hmm? This would be interesting. What's going on here? Just making a token now? Hmm. Time bolt. Yep. Mm-hmm. They probably have a force of negation up here. But I still cast DAC, right? What if it's Spell Pierce? Okay. I'll play it out. I'm going to play around Spell Pierce. Oh, I didn't play around Spell Pierce. They have force anyways. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I am winning this race. Now, I do lose to Key here. They only have 2 mana, so it's not the end all be all. They're quite a ways away from Lurrus. So we have a pretty decent chance here. Obviously, it's contingent on us getting through this turn. We are winning the race. Then we get to sit on negation here. Well, they have a dress down, that's what it is. And that just dies to dress down. They still have a fairly good mitt full of cards here. I do think this is a matchup where we are going to want our collector roof. Mm-hmm. Thin ourselves out a bit. Force of Will is pretty nice. We have hard cast Force and a hard cast Negation. They do have to block here. They're going to go to 2 life in their upkeep. And yeah, I mean, would have preferred to have drawn a Pyroblast there, but let's see what happens. I could also see putting a third Tarmogoyf in this deck. Having played Bug over the last week, I have been on 2 Tarmogoyfs, and I really think the card is good. It's easily sided out when you're playing against fast combo matches, but it's just a really challenging card for people to be able to beat. Could see this. Now let's see what we don't want. Like, we're probably reasonably well set up for this match, so we likely can't use all of these things. Geez, it's a lot of things to side out here. The bolt is not terrible. We just have a lot of good stuff in this match. Maybe Shattering Spree and Claim are just not really where I want to be. Where I like to claim more is against Urza's Saga, but let's try this. I just think the way we're set up is really good. Even the bolts I like, but I think Oof is better. Okay, pretty good looking hand here. Always feels good if you can steal a win against Lurrus. Okay, this is an Ancestral. Nope. I'm going to take a peek. Just going to Lorn Revealed. I can Ancestral myself here when they tap down for the Lorn Revealed. The issue is I will have to discard all my cards. It's just not worth it. Their hand is not great. See, interesting if they tap down for the like play the Saga into the Time Vault here is my guess, and I will Ancestral from there. Nope. Okay. I think I'm going to Collector Roof here. And they can dress down end of turn. And I mean, I guess they are just trying to Saga here. I could Wrenn. Yeah, I think I do like Wrenn here. Get a red source. They have Flusterstorm. Now, they may have another counter here. They have one unknown card in their hand. Gets in. Okay. We'll be able to get the Saga with the Wasteland next turn. Hopefully. If they Time Walk me, it's not great. I'm presuming they're just going to dress down here. They have two of them in their hand. They're just draw a card. Perfectly reasonable. Just pray they don't have a Time Walk here is the card that gets me the worst. They can Time Bolt here as well. I suspect they will play the Time Bolt to try and get ahead, so they're ready next turn. Ooh, Arcanist. Boy, that's a nice one. Oh, I'm going to Collector Roof. Collector Roof is a really good card in this situation. There is merit to actually taking their Underground Sea there as well, but that's a bummer. The Youth, in combination with the Red and 6, does offer inevitability here. I'm going to take their black source here because of the presence of Bowmaster. I want to know that they don't have it. Okay, they floated blue. We can just bring that back now. And I'm going to move to combat here. We'll see. Yeah, they've done a Lorem Revealed. We'll get in for 2. I mean, I like our position. I don't necessarily think we're hugely favored here, but we're not the worst either. We're really flooded. I mean, I can say that much for sure. They do have Flusterstorm here. I think that's okay. I'm just going to keep preordaining, and I'm going to bottom these two, and I'm going to draw off the top. See what we get. Tarmogoyf, great draw. Now we do have to discard here. That's okay though. We Discard a land. Nowhere near casting Lurrus here. They're going to dig through time here. Yeah, I mean, I can't stop it because of Flusterstorm. I think this is okay. Dress Down is such a good card. That is the two Dress Downs, though, that I'm aware of from their hand. They have the key here. I don't think it's what I fight over. But it will require them to pay 1 for the key and to Flusterstorm. They've already played a land this turn. And so whether I counter the key or not, they may not have another Mox available in their hand to untap this, which means that they are vulnerable. So I'm going to try and exile this just because it's a problem. And they're going to Flusterstorm me here. Oh, they do have it exactly. Okay. So that works for a turn. Because this will go away. What did they pitch there? They did pitch the Flusterstorm. Okay. So this gets them a turn, but they still don't have an answer to my Collector Roof as we currently speak. So there's a chance that they don't remove my Oof here. Ooh, that's a scary one. Ooh, they found a black mana. Yuck. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's probably game. They have Bolt. Yeah. Really well done from my opponent there. That was a difficult place to navigate out of, and I felt like we were in a very superior position. There you go, guys. I mean, Dress Down is such a good card. Dress Down single-handedly got them out of that position. And really, I was in a superior position until that Dress Down came down. Even post-resolving the key, I knew that I could untap. They would untap after the Time Bolt activation, and that they would be underneath my Oof. Like, it took a really strong sequence of cards to get out of that. And now they found them. They had the perfect storm with 3 cards in their hand to be able to find their way out of that. Just going to play my Mox and my... It's tough because do I want to preordain right now? I might. I maybe do want to come off this. Because if I don't draw a land next turn, it's really bad for me. I could cast a Tarmogoyf here. Bolt does kill it, though, which is not optimal. I'm going to go and preordain here. Oh, should have got a red source there. That was a mistake. Okay, I still have Force of Will up here. Mm-hmm. Not really equipped for that right now. I may have to be aggressive in countering their mocks, and we'll see. That is a line that we could take given our vulnerability to it. Construct tokens could get around us here. Do I want to force that? Just so bad. Yeah. Yeah. My gut tells me that this is what I need to do. And this way I can hold up Spell Pierce. Or do I get Tarmogoyf going here? Gonna get my Goyf going. It's hard for them to deal with it. And Spell Pierce hopefully is solid here. They do have 6 in their mitt. I'm still a little bit reeling that I lost that game too. I felt like we were just so much in control. They can Force a Will that. Oh wow, just sagas everywhere. Okay. Well, if I can find a wasteland here, it's really huge. See if I can resolve this. If I don't, it just pumps up my well, if not if it's do it now. Fetch again. So we can pump our Goyf. We will get red this time. And yeah, I mean, if we can find a blue card next turn, that or we can just hard cast the Force, I guess is another option. But we are looking for a wasteland here too. So Collector Roof would be awesome. Like, it's obvious to me they don't have a Force. This will pump my Goyf up further. Presumably it will be a Black Lotus. If they are able to get a quick Lurrus into play, it is problematic for us. Okay, they did indeed get the Lotus. Did not float a mana either, which would have made me a lot more scared if they did. Flusterstorm was a nice draw. Okay, 5 tacking in. See if they end up making a Saga. I can't imagine they would waste their Lotus to do that. I think they're very much on the plan of trying to bring Lurrus back. Let's hope they wait till next turn, because what happens is I can hold up Force of Will and Flusterstorm at that point. Like, I can hard cast both. So they probably can bring Lurrus back this turn and cast it. The issue is will they be able to protect it? I think we're just a turn behind on being able to do both. Right, they go get Soul Ring here, pull it to hand, cast it. Yeah, it's going to be close. Probably we lose if they are able to resolve the Lurrus. Oh, nice. Okay, do they have another land? Hopefully not. Oh, they do have a Mox. Okay, so they can do it. Let's see if they have a Force of Will to back it up. It has to be Force of Will, given the current setup. Mm-hmm. Do want a thin here. One more. Well, I guess we have 2 more fetchables here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I still think I want the Flusterstorm, right? The Tarmogoyf is good here. I'm also getting close to Retrace. Play around Days, I guess. Do I cast this thing? I don't think so. I think I wait one more turn. The results of Lurrus resolving are just too high risk for me. Mm-hmm. No, that is a bit of a punishment. Yeah, I feel like that was one of the few cards that could have got me there. Did they go for Lurrus here? if they have their own Flusterstorm, they can probably protect it. They'd have to have Force and Fluster. What an interesting game. I might, if I draw a land, just burn this now. I don't know though. Like make it ultimate. PO. Do I force that? They've used their Lotus to do it. I think I'm going to cast Force this. I don't know. Do I want to do that though? That means the Lurrus still can come back in. But this draws them 3 cards. Yeah, no, I'm not going to let them do that. I'm just going to have to try and attrition them out. They probably have a negation here, or I mean, maybe they got just let it go, and they're baiting me for the Lurrus here. They pull Lurrus to hand now. Lotus is gone. It's a lot better than getting a construct, in my opinion. Well, they can't get a construct here. They'd have to do it during my turn. Yeah, that's what they're doing. We just really want to wait late wasteland here. We'll make a construct, please. Cantrip, wasteland. There it is. Okay, that was really big for us. I could actually, funny enough, take both their lands. But I think Hardcast Force is really good. I'm definitely getting rid of their Saga here. That goes without saying. I think I'm going to get a Wasteland here. And I can just Hardcast the Force here. Plus Fluster backup. Yeah, that's really good. I guess if they have a Force of Will and a Flusterstorm in their hand and a black producing mana, they can go over the top of me here. But even Lurrus in this particular instance is they are facing lethal next turn. So they would have to get in front of it unless they're able to remove the Goyf. And that is not easy with a 6/7 body. an unwinnable position. I have really enjoyed playing Ren this league. I think Ren is really good. I always have thought Ren is really good. Okay, Fluster is now retraceable. Yep, we got there. I mean, that red ultimate was really huge when it came down to it in the end there, that we were going to be able to use those counters as we saw fit. But yeah, guys, I mean, obviously the result is very mid-grade with a 3-2, but we lost to White Initiative, and as we identified very early on in the first match, that this deck was incorrectly built as it wasn't taking initiative into consideration. And I think we have since shored that up. And that said, we even put up a pretty good fight against initiative against the player Jose in round 4. It just, we never found a land in game 3. So I think we were in position, as I said, to be able to win that match even without the removal. So, yeah, adding 2 pieces of removal here is pretty good. I could see bringing in another Lightning Bolt, bringing in another Tarmogoyf. Probably could cut Lauren Revealed out of this deck because we just have so many cantrips to be able to dig for what we're looking for. I don't think it's necessary. Outside of that, I think the deck is pretty well put together. I thought Pyroblast was relevant in 3 of those 5 matches. That said, with Dredge and White Initiative running around in the numbers they are, perhaps it is more of a sideboard card and we want to move something like Collector Roof into the main. That is pretty reasonable, and I might do that. Anyways, guys, do appreciate you hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy this league. Like, comment, subscribe.